Game start. SNG unfortunately with 14, we'll see how they do on the defense. Hopefully they'll be able to get a good fight here. We'll see what happens. Here we go, Reginopolis. Alright, let's see what units we're getting. Chevaliers, Shield Maidens, Fortebraccio, the Claymores for the damage reduction, Mirmelons of course still in there. A lot of Shield Maiden Modal Mirmelons I'm seeing here. Even some Assassins from Warfarful and Longbow again. Been playing those quite a bit I think. Coupled with the Glaive, nice damage buff there. On the other side, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we got 11 players in the lobby, that shouldn't be right. We'll see. Alright, Shield Maidens, Mirmelons, Camels here. And some more Mirmelons here. More of a triple purple setup over on the side of SNG here. They're bringing the Flamers. Very heavy hitting team for Pond Guard. Only one specialist really. Not even using a Scallion and double Scallion on the side of SNG. Very heavy hero setup on SNG side. Pond Guard's got a more medium and some light classes in there as well. People on the short bow might maybe switching to the dual blade later on. We'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna check my mic here. Doesn't seem. I think my sound is quite soft. If you can't hear me well, just let me know in chat. Alright, ready to get into the game, guys. Here we are. Let's go. Alright, let's find out where they go. Looks like it's a straight C defense on the side of SNG. They're running. They know what's up. On the side of Pond Guard, of course, pushing all the towers, all the veteran ramps. Shooting down the walls, that's going down quickly as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Pond Guard especially wants to use their artillery on the C point probably, or maybe even behind the C point. We'll have to see where SNG wants to defend. And it does look like on the C point, so most of the teams have been fighting behind it, using the supply and this breach in the back here as a stronghold. It's really easy to use units like Flamers and Zicalian from top here, for example, to hold this. Probably similar to what you do in Territorial Wars. But these locations, like both of these locations, of course, if you have mortars and you have time, you can really stake out a lot of units. That's where you need at least like 1 or 2 longswords probably as a defender to counter all that damage. You can already see here, look at this. That's a girlfriend setup here, no? A ballista, alright, so can we check out, yeah, so we can see some grape shots, a ballista and a couple mortars here. Lots of mortars actually on the side of Pond Guard, so definitely expecting those to be used. As on SNG, they've got a lot of grape shots, so they are looking for catching out players when they get inside the fight. Which is probably a good bet, knowing that they've got a couple players less. Pond Guard catching the A point, of course, catching the supply as well. B points being captured. And I'll have to see if they also want to take their time and go into the supply. Now, this is something smart SNG is already doing. They're hiding their like Flamers and Zicalian down there. It's not a place you can get as the attacker unless you go up the walls, of course, using the ladders. Breach already down as well, so Pond Guard using artillery very effectively. And Pipo probably here going on a little scout, going to check it out. What's up here? Ooh, damn, that's a nice pickup there. That's a freebie. Alright, first mortars getting hit. SNG actually aggressively pushing forward here. They may just be trying to bait some traps. So we can see mortars being used. Yeah, Pond Guard is sitting back there, probably gonna use their time they have now. Very curious to see what they're gonna do. So, yep, there we go. Mortars being placed. We even got double ballista set up here. So I know Pond Guard really likes the ballistas. They've been using those a lot. It's very easy to get like double unit kills each time with each shot. And that actually adds up quite a lot. If you can take down a couple units there with those blue ballistas, maybe even get a lucky hero kill, that really does hurt in the long run. And especially in games like these, like Reginopolis, we've seen how it can be a very, very close fight at the end. It's really like a grind of units here. Kind of similar with what we saw last season in the final of CBR Rivals for the Rustic Division on Tour of Arbels, where it really came down to just a couple units. I do like this from SNG. They're really trying to defensively attack and get Pond Guard, but Pond Guard, of course, with those ballistas, you can see like the stacks of that body there. Of course, it's only one unit of Imperial Spearmen, so strong unit could take some hits, but it's definitely dying a little bit. Meanwhile, mortar shots trying to get to the RT, but not really able to get there yet. Pond Guard, of course, having the time, it's 40 minutes. You can see a goal run, nice. Trying to get the ballistas and the RT there, but that's getting countered, so good shot there. Not seeing any other counter RT so far. Just the one there. Ooh, RT. Nice there from Pustoy. Damn, that's some damage he's got. Good shots. Let's see if we can follow a little bit what the guys are doing here. Yeah, so Pond Guard definitely starting to stack up here. And those mortars may be hitting actually. Wondering how low some of the units are. Yeah, we can see 8 shield main is down. 1 of the flamers down as well. These Halp Sarges chilling there. Shenji at the back as well. All of those still complete. So really just like 1.5 unit down here from SNG. Pond Guard really taking their time. Of course, as the attacker they have 2 artillery pieces and then the defender only have 1. So, ooh, Pustoy, damn, he's on fire. Oh, drop though. Peepo, revenge kill, there you go. Antagonist just a little too late with his shield main to try and help him. You can see how aggressively like SNG is. They're really trying to use the flanks here. Very, very smart. Alright, Pine going in first. Let's get a good angle on this one. Sekali can be really effective. Same with the flames. Oh my god, this choke point is really good for SNG right now. How long can they hold? Pine and the team coming in from the side as well. That's going to be critical because I don't think SNG have got the counter flank going on as well. So the front line really holding strong here for SNG actually. They're pushing back Pond Guard, but the reinforcements coming in from the left. Maybe it's a bit too slow though, or coming in from the right as well. Nice flames there. How long can they protect those? That's really important there. More coming in from the right side for Pond Guard. Though Sekalian on top. Finally getting countered there. But Pond Guard's pushing through. Not playing with full team is probably a bit too much. But SNG looked really strong in that initial engagement. Also holding off the flank for a little bit there. Cav coming in. SNG is going to have to come in with their Cav of their own. There we go. But for the watcher already braced at the gates. That's really good. Good stuff there from the team. That is Pond Guard. Nice cap from C here. SNG really a good initial fight there. But it wasn't enough in the end. Camel's still sitting there with the grape shot. That's going to help a lot. But they may be able to get something there. Who knows? Keep an eye on it. Alright, convincing push there from Pond Guard. Of course, they have the numbers, so they should be able to get this win quite easily. But don't underestimate your opponent. If you make a few mistakes, it could cost you the game. Alright, solid defense here from the Camels. That's going to be funny. Axeles, he's got to run. The whole squad of Pond Guard is coming. He's getting out there. You can see those Camels. Thank you, boys, man. Alright, Pustoy with the longbow. He's out for blood once again. He's really trying to get some kills there. I'm liking his playstyle already. And again, SNG not afraid to step out with their units, looking for an opportunity to take some kills, get some things going. We can see trebuchets from Pond Guard already flying in. Artillery again being placed. Nice shield wall at the front, triple mortar. SNG trying to hide in that corner, but those mortars, they may be hitting those. Like the blue mortars, very effective at lopping those balls over the top. We'll see how it goes. Quite often we see teams also placing them on the top bottom left there. Alright, but Pond Guard deciding to just push in. A lot of SNG on the supply there. Look at that, that's 5 players of SNG not on the point right now. Pond Guard can get a really clear hold and just put up the Fortebraccio, put up the Chevaliers there. That's going to be doing so much here for Pond Guard. Looks like they got a firm hold on the point. SNG definitely trying to run in between them. The Modao brace, Fortebraccio brace. I don't think SNG's got any chance here to get it back in there. Kills coming in though, critical. And there is some Chevaliers, but the retinue may not be able to get a lot there because Warfarfu in the back there, killing all of those heroes and units. Starting to see some blue, but oof, that's a trebuchet that's going to hit a lot. Nice trap there. Kills left and right. Pond Guard pushing through, and there we go. First game, first win from Pond Guard, leading 1-0. iPop doing really well there with the MVP for Pond Guard, followed by Chalao, Rappler Rave, and Pine. Pine sitting on the longsword. Look at the amount of longswords they had actually. That's triple longsword. Strong class. Not to be underestimated right now. Pretty sure some players are really happy with those. Peepo picking up the triple hero kills. Always looking for those. Walter sitting at the top. Actually solid score there. 100 unit kills in a game that's been lost so quickly. That's really, really impressive. And all the other ones. Pusto actually sitting at the bottom despite getting 2 really solid hero kills at the start of the game. And those can add up if you manage to play for the long game, but not today I think. Welcome on chat guys, welcome Yoshimo.